Jason Statham gets mocked by a rude gym trainer. His response leaves everyone speechless. It was an ordinary morning at Iron Titan Gym, a high-end fitness center in Los Angeles. The air smelled of sweat, determination, and protein shakes. The gym was bustling with athletes, bodybuilders, and fitness enthusiasts trying to push their limits. Among them, Jason Statham, the renowned action star, quietly walked in, dressed in a simple gray hoodie, black shorts, and his signature no-nonsense expression. He wasn't there to make a scene. He wasn't there for attention. He was there to train. Despite his Hollywood status, Statham was known for his humility. He never demanded special treatment, and today was no different. He strolled over to the free weights section, adjusting his wrist wraps when he suddenly heard a voice dripping with sarcasm. Well, look who it is. Mr. Action Star himself. Statham turned his head toward the voice. A young, overly enthusiastic trainer with a smug grin stood nearby, arms crossed. His name tag read, Brad, Senior Trainer. The entire gym fell silent. Everyone knew who Jason Statham was. His movies, from The Transporter to The Expendables, showcased his raw athleticism and combat skills. But Brad didn't seem impressed. Hey man, I hope you're not here to film a Hollywood training montage, Brad sneered, his voice carrying across the gym. Because we do real workouts here, not camera tricks. A few people chuckled nervously, but most remained quiet, waiting for Statham's reaction. Instead of getting angry, Statham simply smirked. He could sense this was an ego thing. Brad was likely one of those trainers who wanted to prove a point by mocking a celebrity. Real workouts. Statham repeated, raising an eyebrow. Mind showing me, then? Brad's face lit up with arrogance. All right, let's see what you've got, movie star, he scoffed. The challenge begins. Brad led Statham to the squat rack and loaded up 315 pounds. Let's start with some real strength training. Think you can handle it? Without hesitation, Statham dropped into position. With perfect form, he cranked out 10 deep squats, each one smooth and controlled. No grunting, no struggle. When he finished, he calmly racked the bar and stretched his shoulders. Brad's confident smirk wavered. Not bad, Brad muttered. But let's see if you can do some actual conditioning. He walked over to the battle ropes and motioned for Statham to follow. Most people gas out in a minute. Let's see if you last. With a small nod, Statham grabbed the heavy ropes and unleashed a relentless storm of waves. His forearms flexed, veins popping, while his core remained solid. 2 minutes passed. Then 3. Then 5. Brad's jaw dropped. The gym-goers were now gathering, whispering among themselves. Then came the final blow. All right, but can you fight? Brad scoffed, desperate to regain control. All that gym strength doesn't mean much if you can't throw a punch. Statham simply smiled. You got gloves? Brad hesitated, but he wasn't about to back down. He grabbed a pair of mitts, put them on, and raised his hands. Let's see some Hollywood moves. What happened next stunned everyone. Statham moved like lightning. His footwork was razor-sharp, his punches a blur. Each strike hit the mitts with a force that echoed through the gym. A perfectly executed spinning kick sent Brad stumbling back. The entire gym erupted into applause. Brad, drenched in sweat, took off the mitts and extended his hand. Okay, man, he admitted, finally humbled. I take it back. You're the real deal. Statham shook his hand and simply said, no hard feelings. But next time, let's train together instead of competing. Brad nodded, and from that day on, he became one of Statham's biggest fans. As Statham walked out of the gym, someone called out, Jason, that was legendary. He turned back, gave a small nod, and smirked. It's just another day at the gym, mate. And with that, he disappeared into the Los Angeles morning, leaving behind a gym full of awestruck people who would never forget the day Jason Statham shut down the loudest trainer in the room, without saying a single rude word. Word spreads like wildfire the moment Jason Statham walked out of Iron Titan Gym. Whispers and excited chatter erupted among the gym-goers. Did you see that? Brad got absolutely wrecked. Statham is the real deal. No ego, just pure skill. Within hours, someone had uploaded a short video of Statham's battle rope endurance and mitt work to Instagram. It went viral instantly. The next morning, as Statham returned to the gym for another session, he noticed something different. People weren't just looking at him anymore. They were watching Brad. A trainer humbled Brad. The once overly confident trainer had changed overnight. Instead of strutting around with his usual arrogance, he was focused, quiet, and learning. Statham walked up to him. "Morning, mate." Brad looked up, embarrassed. "Hey, man. Look, about yesterday. I was a bit of a—" Statham held up a hand, stopping him mid-sentence. "It's in the past. But tell me something. Why the attitude? You don't seem like a bad guy." Brad sighed, rubbing the back of his head. "Honestly, I guess I just wanted to prove something. You see, I've been working my ass off in this gym for years, trying to make a name for myself. Then someone like you walks in, famous, respected, and already a beast in the gym. I guess I felt threatened." Statham nodded, understanding. "You don't need to put others down to prove your worth. You prove it by showing up, working hard, and learning every day. I didn't get where I am by bragging. I just put in the work." Brad's shoulders relaxed. He let out a small chuckle. "Guess I have a lot to learn." A lesson in discipline. From that day on, Brad wasn't just a trainer. He became a student. Instead of challenging people, he started helping them. Instead of mocking, he started motivating. And most importantly, he trained alongside Statham, pushing himself harder than ever before. Weeks passed, and the transformation was evident. Brad's attitude changed, his fitness level skyrocketed, and most importantly, he had gained the respect of everyone in the gym, including Jason Statham himself. One day, after finishing a grueling circuit, Brad looked over at Statham and grinned. "So, does this mean I've redeemed myself?" Statham chuckled, wiping sweat from his brow. "Let's just say you're getting there, mate. Respect isn't earned through arrogance. It's built through hard work, humility, and the willingness to learn. And sometimes, the biggest lesson you can learn comes from the most unexpected teacher." The unexpected offer months passed, and Brad had undergone a total transformation. Not only had he improved as a trainer, but his ego was replaced with genuine confidence. One afternoon, as Statham finished his workout, Brad approached him, a little hesitant. "Hey, Jason, can I ask you something?" Statham, wrapping a towel around his neck, turned to him. "Of course. I've been working hard, pushing myself like never before. And I have to admit, it's because of you. I see how you train, how disciplined you are, and it's made me rethink everything I knew about fitness." Jason nodded, waiting for him to continue. "I want to take it to the next level," Brad said, his voice steady. "I want to train in stunt work, martial arts, and action choreography. I know you've worked with some of the best in the business. Do you think I could?" "I don't know. Maybe learn from you." Statham studied him for a moment. A few months ago, Brad was an arrogant trainer who mocked him. Now, he stood before him, a man willing to humble himself and learn. "It won't be easy," Statham finally said. "The kind of training I do? It's brutal. No shortcuts." Brad grinned. "I wouldn't want it any other way." Statham's brutal training regimen. A week later, Brad found himself standing in a private training facility, one used by professional stuntmen and elite martial artists. Statham had pulled some strings and introduced him to his personal coach, Mark Chambers, a legendary stunt coordinator. "All right, mate," Statham said, tossing Brad a pair of gloves. "Time to see what you're really made of." What followed was the toughest training of Brad's life. Firefight choreography, learning to throw punches and kicks that looked real but were controlled for film. Fire weapons training, handling knives, bats, and even stunt firearms with precision. Fire high-fall stunts, jumping from platforms onto crash mats, simulating real fight sequences. Fire endurance conditioning, pushing his limits with sprints, bodyweight drills, and insane circuit workouts. Each day, Brad woke up sore, bruised, and exhausted. But he never quit. The ultimate test. After 6 months of intense training, Brad was unrecognizable. He was faster, stronger, and sharper than ever before. One evening, Statham invited him to a closed-door stunt rehearsal for an upcoming action film. "Watch and learn," Statham told him as he prepared for a scene involving a brutal one-on-one fight sequence. Brad watched in awe as Statham executed the choreography with flawless precision. Every punch, every block, every movement looked like a real street fight. Then, as the rehearsal wrapped up, Statham turned to Brad. "Think you're ready to step in?" Brad's eyes widened. "You mean? We need an extra for a quick fight sequence," Statham smirked. "Don't think I'd let you off easy, did you?" Brad took a deep breath, slid on his gloves, and stepped onto the mat. From mocking to mentorship that night, as Brad performed his first ever on-camera fight scene, he realized something. The man he once mocked in a gym had become his mentor. And in that moment, he knew his life had changed forever.